Well, I have a good show for you tonight. You ready for a good show? Good. This first guy that I'm going to bring up to you, well, we have music, we have comedy, we have everything. This first guy I'm going to bring up used to be part of a comedy team, as a matter of fact, that performed on this fabulous cable comedy show. But right now we've got him as a single. He's here in Boston. He's a funny, funny guy, soon to be your buddy. Please, a nice round of applause, Mr. Chris Zito.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Now, cut it out. I said cut it out. Good heavens. Thank you so much. Well, that was just fantastic. I can't explain it. It's good to be here tonight. I'm very happy to be here. I drove over here from my home in beautiful Rosendale, and it is beautiful, and thank you very much. And those people will be firebombing my house now. They'll be looking for my address. And no, I had a lot of fun driving. I love driving around Boston. I really do. I love it because it gives me a chance to take part in one of my favorite hobbies, insulting the toll collectors on the Mass Pike. It's a lot of fun. It's incredibly easy. Yeah, pal, must be great having a job that could be done just as well by a basket, huh? You are a loser, pal. That's a cruel joke, and that's why I like to open with it. Mike was talking about the presidential campaign. We're coming into the home stretch of the campaign. Do you guys have a candidate? You gotta have a candidate. You gotta have somebody. My favorite moment so far was the vice presidential debate. I thought it was hilarious. My favorite moment of that debate was they asked Senator Dan Quayle, if something happened to the president and you had to assume the presidency, what would be the first thing you'd do? He said, first thing I would do, I would say a prayer. That's quite a coincidence, Dan. I think a lot of people would be hitting their knees at that point. You know, some of those old fallout shelters from the 50s would be filling up pretty quickly. You know, and now they say the big thing, the key for Dukakis now, he's got to get friendlier. He's got to get warmer. We live in Massachusetts. We know this guy. We know this is not going to happen. This isn't going to happen. You know, people are put off by him because of the look. Mike Dukakis has a frightening look. You have to admit that. You know what I mean? It's scary. You know, he's kind of got that uni eyebrow happening. I think that puts people off, you know? I mean, he looks a little bit like Bert from Sesame Street, and I think that scares people. A lot of people don't want a Muppet look-alike in the Oval Office. Can't say as I blame him. I'm just for whoever's better for the family guy, because I'm a family man. I'm a married guy. That's right, I'm married, so I get it regular. I feel like we're the only ones left now, you know? I mean, let's face it, this is the 80s. Sure is a good decade to be married, if you ask me, you know? A little dangerous being single out there right now. And myself, I got married in 1979, so I got in right under the wire, if you know what I'm trying to say. Right before the big scare. The big one it is. Of course, I'm talking about safe sex. We all know about this. Now, I think safe sex is important. It's important for single people. Myself, I've been married 9 years now. I've been with the same lady over 12 years. I got to be honest with you. Safe sex, pretty much the last thing I'm looking for. Sort of looking for just the opposite these days, you know. When you stay married 9 years, you got to start using your imagination just to keep that sex life exciting. You stay with the same person long enough, you got to start getting creative. Honey, are the kids asleep? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do tonight. I'm going to put on that hard hat and the tool belt, see? I'm going to go outside, ring the doorbell. Now, when you come to the door, I'm going to tell you I got a flat. Can I come in and use the phone? What do you say? We just did that one last week. No, we didn't. kind of a long wick on that joke. I'm used to waiting for that one. Well, Mike promised you some music. I'm going to start that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do right now for you. What I'm going to do is a little musical comedy. What I'm going to do before I go is I'm going to sing, and you can't stop me. I'm the guy with the microphone. That's what it comes down to. This is the musical comedy. Now, when I use that phrase, musical comedy, I mean musical comedy in its most literal sense. You'll see what I mean in a moment. Now, I sing this song a cappella. That means with no musical accompaniment. For those of us who never made it past the 3rd grade. Guess I'm all alone again. This is the musical comedy. It goes like this. You see this guy. This guy walks into a bar. Steps up to the bar. He sits right down and orders a draft. A few minutes pass. The guy at the bar motions to the bartender. The bartender approaches and the guy says, I got $10 that says I can bite my right eye. Well, the bartender laughs. He says, ain't nobody can bite their right eye. So the guy at the bar says, get up the cash. And the bartender does. The guy proceeds to remove his glass eye. He bites it and proceeds to reinsert it. And the bartender He shrugs. The guy at the bar orders another draft. A few minutes pass. The guy calls the bartender back. The bartender approaches and the guy says, here's a $20 bill. It's telling you that I can bite my left eye too. Well, the bartender laughs. He says, ain't nobody got two glass eyes. The guy at the bar says, get up the cash, and the bartender does. The guy at the bar proceeds to remove his false teeth. He bites his left eye and reinserts them. The bartender sobs. The guy at the bar orders another draft, and a few minutes pass, and the guy calls the bartender back. The bartender approaches very tentatively the guy at the bar. He says, I'm feeling a little bit guilty. Bullshit. I took you for a ride on those last bets. I want to give you a chance to win back your cash, plus a hell of a lot more. Here's 200 bananas. It says that I can stand at that end of the bar and piss in a shot glass at the other end of the bar. Well, the bartender looks. He says, man, that's 13 stools. Ain't nobody can piss 13 stools. So the guy at the bar says, get up the cash. The bartender does. Hey, what a maroon he turned out to be. And the guy climbs onto the bar. He whips out his tool. The bartender carefully places a shot glass at the other end. And the guy on the bar proceeds to piss all over the room, all over the booze and the stools and the customers, and the bartender's dying. This poor guy is laughing so hard he can't even straighten up, and then he notices that the guy in the bar is laughing too, so he goes up to the guy in the bar and says, what are you laughing about? You just lost $200. So the guy on the bar, he says, you see that man in the back of the room crying in his beer? Well, I just bet him 5,000 smackaroos that I could stroll in here and piss all over this bar, and you'd be laughing. Thanks a lot.
Zito. Come on up, man. Come on up. Sit down. Chris Zito, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, thanks, Michael.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm fine. How are you? Pleasure to see you.
Good set. They like you.
Oh, I appreciate it. You're a fine group of folks.
Well, I think it was maybe your introduction saying that you lived in Roslindale.
Oh, yeah. That wins them over all the time.
Little Rosie.
You know, I feel a little strange now. It's a predominantly Irish neighborhood, but I come from an Italian family, you know.
You do?
Oh, yeah. So naturally, everything revolved around food. You know, eating was really like our central activity. You know? In fact, we had bizarre eating rituals when I was growing up.
Like?
Well, like every night after supper, I had to walk around to the head of the table so my father could feel my stomach to make sure it was full. He would literally, I swear to God, he would do that to me. He'd feel my little tummy. That's a good boy, Chris. Keep this up and someday you'll grow up to be big and fat like your mother and I. He's a porker, my dad. He really is.
I think I met your dad out on the street.
Yeah, sure he did.
He said, come here, I want to feel your tummy.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
He's a very large. Yeah, and to this day, we'll get into an argument. I guess you forget about the sacrifices I made for you, young man. Well, it doesn't look like he skipped any meals, pal. You know, so he's a big man, big man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a
Filling
dangerous.
up on the Italian ices, is that
Oh
it?
yeah, well the eating wasn't his only bad.
What
habit.
town? They're from Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
You're from Pittsburgh.
Yes,
right?
I am. Yeah.
What do you know about Pittsburgh lately?
What do I know about Pittsburgh lately? Well, the Pirates went down in flames late.
Beautiful.
You know, but it's better to, you know, see, that's what they tease the fans. You know, that's what I liked about the Red Sox in '87.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of sucked from
Sox
opening day.
fans don't know nothing about being teased.
No. Well, that's what I like about the Sox in '87 because they sucked from opening day. You know what I mean?
You
You
know,
get
the
off that roller
Sox,
coaster.
the Sox, as far as being a team goes, they're like a bad boyfriend. You know, he's the kind of guy who...
I've never had a bad boyfriend, Mike. I don't know. I wouldn't know anything about that.
Well, I have, honey.
Let me tell you the pain
No,
I've been
I'm
through.
talking about like the kind of guy who takes a girl out, treats her greatest meal, go out dancing, have a great time, takes her home, has a great time. I mean, they're just in love.
You mean
Then
a
he
great
takes
time?
her and beats the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Like Tyson.
Like Tyson, yes. That was a Tyson callback.
And then she goes, oh, no, well, this is all over. But then they come back. They come back. The Sox fans, they keep coming back like a bad boyfriend.
It's true. It's true.
You got any
We got bad habits.
stuff? Did you go to any Sox games?
I didn't go to any Sox games this
No.
year. No.
You know.
I wanted to tell you about my dad. Is that all right?
Talk about your dad.
Well, my dad. So no, it's just because I got to get this off.
I didn't
my
know
chest.
you had a couple of minutes on Dad.
I got a lot of bad stuff. I like to complain about Dad when he's thousands of miles away. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? He doesn't live in Boston, so he won't get this.
Right.
But he won't see it. But he had a lot of bad habits. You know, a lot of bad
Like
habits. Did
what?
Things. Well, you're talking about a man who cleans his ears with a bobby pin. You ever seen an old guy do this? Oh yeah. No, it's something about that generation. They grew up without Q-tips. I don't know what the excuse is. But
So they went right for a wire?
No, anything. Tear out a match, stick it in his ear, use his car keys to clean his ears. I'm not making this up. I come home one day, he's got a soup spoon in there. I don't know what he's looking for, you know? I look out the window, he's got the jumper cables from the car. He's trying to zap himself back to life, you know?
Right there.
You want to know why life expectancy's gone up in this country, Michael? I'll
Why
tell you
is
why.
that?
Because a guy like me won't even eat red meat. This man is sticking small appliances in his head. That's a dangerous habit, it really
A
is.
soup spoon, a whole soup
A
spoon?
gigantic soup spoon.
Because it makes a good broth.
It's kind of a waxy soup there, yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. This is thick.
Yeah. But when it came to us, he was a fanatic. We couldn't get away with anything. Fanatic about childhood safety.
Like what?
Well, you know, he heard the kids are supposed to wear bright colors after dark, so every night we're going out in like fluorescent hunting outfits. You know, cars would drive by, we look like some kind of bizarre blacklight circus gang riding around the neighborhood. It's
I've
embarrassing.
seen you.
Sure.
I aim for those kids.
Yeah. I teach my kids to ride unicycles now. I pass that along.
It's Chris Zito, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much.